Hello. Hi everyone. Welcome to Guiding Voice podcast series, The Guiding Voice for a Better Future. This podcast is to help students and young professionals to shape their careers. Thank you for tuning in. This is Naveen and I'm with my co-host Sudhakar. Dear listeners, in this episode, we want to cover a topic related to one of the hottest jobs in the demand in the IT industry today. That is the path to become a hands-on data scientist. And we are pleased to welcome Ramesh to our show today to have a conversation around the same. Ramesh Manikwal, popularly known as Rami, is a transformation leader with vast experience in value-focused delivery through agile program management and collaboration across diverse stakeholders. He is a certified Lean Six Sigma Black Belt and trained over 100 Green Belt candidates across various organizations and mentored organization-wide major business impact projects. Ramesh is a data scientist passionate about machine learning and text analytics. He has executed projects such as HR attrition analytics, sentiment analytics, and prediction of potential customer escalations and release commitments. He is also an external speaker and delivered sessions on agile transformation, predictive analytics for corporate and education institutes. Ramesh is a most valuable blogger in D-Zone. Also, he has published papers on agile and emotional intelligence and also on Monte Carlo simulation in agile project estimation, forecasting, schedule, and required velocity. So we are going to publish Ramesh's LinkedIn profile. Feel free to connect with him and also feel free to go through his blogs. In addition to all these things, he is also supporting education for underprivileged kids through artwork. Ramesh, welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series. Happy to have you here.
Thank you so much, Naveen and Sudhakar, for such a warm welcome and great introduction. It's a privilege to be part of this platform that shapes the future of our young generation. This topic is actually very close to my heart, and I'm so excited to share my experience through the Guiding Voice podcast series.
Thank you, Ramesh, for accepting our invite and thank you for being part of our journey. Now, let us understand the path to become a hands-on data scientist. Firstly, can you share a little bit about what is the role of a data scientist?
Absolutely. As you rightly mentioned during my introduction, data scientist is one of the hottest jobs in the IT industry. In fact, it's beyond IT now. And literally, there is so much demand in healthcare, banking, finance, and other sectors as well. So it's very important for us to understand the role so that we can be better prepared. The primary role of a data scientist is to understand the desired outcome. What exactly the stakeholder is looking for, along with certain constraint. Everything comes with certain limitation. And also we have a lot of data, so how we can leverage data to provide various insights and feasible options with a level of certainty to the stakeholders. So let me explain that in a bit of detail. Data science is not just about solving mathematical problems through models, and there are a lot of algorithms. Data plays a crucial role, but even before we explore the data, analyze the data, gaining expertise in domain and understanding the desired outcome from the eyes of stakeholder makes the job easy. You'll be surprised. Around 50 to 60% of time is spending understanding the problem and identifying the critical factors that influence the outcome. The next steps, data modeling, piloting, implementation, and evaluation follow through once we have a very good understanding of what we want to achieve. So let me just give an example. TGV, right? Let's say if you want to increase and sustain the reach of TGV, that translates to a successful career of student. Let's say you have a data scientist. The data scientists need to understand your operating model, current process, what you are doing today, and the challenges even before doing anything with your data. So that's the primary role.
This is quite interesting. And as you mentioned, if you want to expand the reach of TGV, it will be much appreciated. And thanks for bringing that, Ramesh. What do you mean by hands-on data scientist?
Okay, so we have so many tools and techniques available to support data scientists. There are a lot of online sites which we'll talk briefly later. But what's more important is to align those tools and techniques in the language of stakeholders. After all, we're solving the problems for them, right? So instead of just focusing on a particular tool or technology, we need to build expertise in the entire spectrum. From the problem understanding, which we just spoke about it, till development, optimization, and feedback loop. One other thing I realized based on my interaction with students, for that matter, even experienced professionals, the focus more about applying an algorithm, that gives better accuracy. But it's important to learn and implement all phases, even if the project the complexity is low or the scope is pretty small. In a nutshell, how much knowledge one has in implementing an end-to-end data science project has more weightage than what tool or technology have been applied. So we just spoke about our case study, increasing the reach of TGV. You as a stakeholder, you as well as Sudhakar will be more interested to see how the solution performs on the long run, than how the solution was implemented.
Perfect.
Ramesh, there are so many technologies available to implement a data science project, right? So what do you suggest for a beginner? Where should he start?
Great question, Sudhakar. Yes, there are a lot of technologies and tools available, but my suggestion is to pick up one technology, become quite strong in the concept and the end-to-end implementation of a project. Of course, when we work with the different stakeholder, different company, the available tools and technologies will vary, but the concept and the foundation remain the same. Surprisingly, I was able to solve quite a few complex problems with Microsoft Excel. Python and R are some of my personal favorite, but as we just spoke about it, we just need to focus on the problem at hand and choose appropriate technology that helps solving the problem.
Excellent. That is really great. The key is be clear with the concepts and understand the end-to-end aspect. Thank you for that, Ramesh. You mentioned the spectrum in solving a data science problem, right? So can you give a high-level overview and let us know if all these steps are mandatory or, there are some things which can be skipped?
Absolutely, Sudhakar. The journey starts from understanding the domain and the problem to be solved. Like we just spoke about it, 50 to 60% of the time is going just in that. Data pre-processing, cleaning up the data, and engineering follows the next. And once we have fine-grained data, we need to perform EDA. It's quite popular in data science, exploratory data analysis, and visualize various aspects. Then we can apply different algorithms to find the suitable models. Then comes to the traditional approach. Once we have a finalized model, we can go ahead and deploy the model and validate with customer, and then optimization based on customer feedback. Then coming back to the second portion of your question, is it really needed that we need to apply all these steps? Not really. Well, this is a typical flow. I have seen projects where we have achieved desired results in the EDA, exploratory data analysis itself. This session helps in most of the project for stakeholders to make key decisions. Like I mentioned before, data science is not just about applying algorithms and data modeling.
I think this is got to do with a lot of steps in terms of understanding about a particular problem statement and then see the applicability of algorithms, so on and so forth. So what do you think would be the first step for college graduates to begin with?
This is where I really like about what you guys do, TGV. Actually, currently, based on my experience, I see that the current generation is more curious than ever. Anybody else I have ever seen it. There are a lot of questions wherever I go, what happened, why did it happen, what will happen. To me, that is extremely important because when you start in a project, right, we just about earlier, like understanding the problem, it becomes very, very important that asking a lot of questions, right? Like they bring up unexplored dimensions, and we never know. We'll have the answer even before we start the project. So my only one advice to the college graduates and freshers: do not be afraid, and no question is a bad question.
You know, Ramesh, that's one of my favorite quotes as well. Like, no question is small and no question is big, and at the same time, no question is a bad question. If you are not asking a question, then that is bad. That is in my opinion. And glad that you brought the very valid point. Now, every job requires a certain skill set. How about data science?
Wow, nice question, Naveen. Tons in the market, right? If you explore Google, like you'll find like tons and tons. Software engineering, mathematics, statistics, programming. Of course, a data scientist certainly need to possess most of them. But in my opinion, the good old days, like what we used to enjoy with our grandparents, storytelling is one of the essential skills. To be an expert storyteller, one needs to be hands-on about the problem, solution, and the approaches. One will need to understand no matter how technical an individual is and how diligently they have dealt with the problem, if it's not communicated in the language that stakeholder can understand, it's not effective. For me, storytelling is one of the topmost skills somebody has to possess.
Ramesh, with the clarity you provided, I'm sure many of our audience will be now more interested in knowing about data science. What are some of the resources like websites or platforms that someone can leverage to start knowing and learning more about data science and related topics before obviously embarking on their journey as a data scientist?
Great. The best way to learn is to get your hands dirty. My suggestion is to pick a problem and then explore the sites to solve the problem. Once we have the problem, it becomes really interesting to kind of explore like problem solving, various answers. Personally, like I have started my journey with the Analytics Vidya. It's one of the sites like where you can find a lot of algorithm. You can find a lot of explanation like in very basic way. And I refer quite often even today for algorithms and models, also sites like Data Science Center. But what's more interesting is we all love fun, right? Like we all love competition, especially the younger generation, right? So Kaggle is one of the largest data science communities where we can learn data science and machine learning. Of course, while having fun through competitions. And of course, there are a lot of courses in Udemy, Coursera, and Skillshare. But the key is practice as you learn. And I want to conclude it with one suggestion because there are a lot of materials available, a lot of tools available, techniques available. It becomes more complex for somebody, right? No matter where you are in the journey, whether you are learning, whether you are an expert, whether you are in the intermediate, my suggestion is share your knowledge across articles and be active in developer communities like Stack Overflow. We learn a lot through sharing our experience.
Amazing, Ramesh. It was indeed a great conversation on today's topic of path to become a hands-on data scientist. We really appreciate your valuable time and sharing your thoughts about this great topic.
Thank you, Naveen and Sudhakar, once again. It was absolutely a pleasure to be here. Hope the young minds find it resourceful.
Thank you again, Rami. Appreciate your time.
Dear listeners, to know more about our speaker and the content, visit or follow us on social media or feel free to email us and we will be happy to share further details with you.
Alright, so it brings us to the trivia segment of today's episode. After Google has come into existence, we are no longer remembering the website names because Google is able to help us by providing the keyword. But domain names are very important and are key to a company's brand. And do you know what was the first domain name that was ever registered? Just think. Alright, the first and still the oldest domain name to be registered is symbolics.com, and it was created 35 years ago, that is on March 15th, 1985. Interesting, isn't it? If you'd like to share any trivias, please feel free to share them through email, and our email address is theguidingvoiceforyou@gmail.com, or SMS us or text us at India number 9494587187. We will not only share best trivias in future episodes, we will also announce your names. Again, we are open for suggestions on topics that you would like to hear from us through our email address. Our email address is theguidingvoice4u@gmail.com. You may also WhatsApp us on our India number 9494587187. Like our page on Facebook, facebook.com/theguidingvoice4u, or follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/guidingvoice. To stay tuned about our future episodes. We are also available on Instagram as The Guiding Voice for You. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/The Guiding Voice. There is more in store. Until next time, have a wonderful time. Thank you for listening. Take care and be safe.